I'm here with Kody with Denver's Front Range Weather, and we're going to talk a little bit about hail, Colorado, and some of the things that we're experiencing in our area right now. Kody, what makes Colorado so special when it comes to hail, and in particular, hail damage?
Yeah, that's a good question. So other than the people, what makes Colorado special is the fact that we start at a mile in elevation and we go up. So when it comes to hail damage, we're known as Hail Alley. We tend to share that with places like Wyoming that are statistically higher in elevation than we are, as well as Nebraska coming off the Front Range and South Dakota. But the temperature tends to cool a lot faster as you increase in altitude with the mountains and the topography, and that is a huge contributor to why we get so much hail this time of the year.
So we get hail, but some days it's like this tiny piece of corn, and other days it's like a softball or a lime. Yeah. What's the difference? What makes it do huge hail one day and just tiny insignificant hail the next?
Good question. So that depends entirely on how fast the updraft in a thunderstorm is. So let's think conceptually about some of the biggest hail Colorado has ever seen. So softballs.
Oh, softballs.
Baseballs, yeah,
Baseballs.
it is big. That's almost 4 inches in diameter. You need a hail updraft at about 120 miles an hour straight up to suspend a softball in the air until gravity eventually takes over and it's able to fall down to the ground. So the speed of the updraft, how fast it's moving, will determine how big your hail is.
That is crazy. And generally speaking, Colorado is one of the areas that has the most impact from hail nationally.
Because one of the biggest contributing factors other than elevation is the fact that we sit next to a mountain range. So they call that orographic lift. It's almost like cheating. Those help to cause the air to rise a little bit faster. And also because we live in a flippin' desert, that also helps with outflow boundaries that converge, and the only place the air can go is up. And sometimes that causes a lot of violent rising motion. If you've ever flown out of Denver International Airport before, it's very bumpy. That's why. So that's one of many reasons why we're one of the hail capitals of the United States.
Even as Denver gets a whole lot of hail, what we do see is there's certain areas of Denver that just get pounded year after year after year. I'm talking, areas like Wildcat Reserve out in Highlands Ranch has got a big old bullseye on it. Why Wildcat Reserve area gets hammered so much, and maybe areas of Arvada just can't, for the life of them, find some hail?
Good question. So one thing I like to tell people, Tim, is pay attention to which direction the wind is coming from and how it interacts with the topography. So if you sit next to a ridge, like here in southeast Denver, close to Southlands Mall, Big target, because we're right next to the Palmer Divide, which is the elevated terrain between Denver and Colorado Springs. Same thing with Highlands Ranch. You're next to Roxborough State Park, which sits in the corner of the Palmer Divide and the Front Range foothills. So historically speaking, if you're next to an elevated terrain like you are in Boulder County or Jefferson County, chances are, if you don't get a hailstorm during the season, you got really, really lucky.
Well, Kody, thanks a lot for just taking a moment and talking to us today about, hail, Colorado, the Denver area. We're so proud to be a sponsor of your Storm Tracker car and really love this relationship we've got, and looking forward to a lot of good things coming forward.
Appreciate all my followers and appreciate you guys for the support. Thank you so much.